Now, the second thing that you might see is this thing. So this is very useful for new test takers. It's the new PT handbook for test takers. Okay. And I get a lot of questions from that get asked about things that this handbook covers all the time from new students. So I strongly recommend that this is one that you probably should download and have a quick read through. Okay. What you're looking at in here, right, is this will give you some information about things like the test day, right? So what we really care about mostly is section 3, section 4, and section 5. Let's have a quick look here. Sorry, I'll just scroll down. Okay, so section 3 has information about booking tests and things like rescheduling. Okay, I will just say that here there's no information about things like COVID, but if the test center or the test that you've booked, the session gets cancelled, don't worry, you won't be charged anything. You'll get this free reschedule, regardless of how many days are remaining. Okay, but unfortunately, you can see here that you better be fairly certain if you're going to book a test, because once it gets close to the test day, it's going to be very difficult for you to change your mind. Okay, so please don't rush into a booking, right? Make sure you're doing enough preparation so that you're actually ready to take a test. If you really want to take a test and see how well you're doing, don't do the real exam, right? Do the mock test, obviously, right? Much cheaper, and you can do it from home. Okay, yep, refunds, medical emergencies, not too important. Okay, here's something that you want to pay attention to. A lot of people ask me questions about what you are and are not allowed to bring into the test center. To put it very, very simply, right, basically you can't take anything into the test center, right? You can see the list here is extremely limited. You're allowed to take like glasses, anything to do with medication or like injury materials, and tissues or something. That's pretty much it, right? The things that you're not allowed to take is pretty much everything. Okay, so you'll have to lock these up in a locker. You're not allowed to take your own drinks in. You're not allowed to take any note-taking materials in. They're going to give you basically everything. Okay, so my advice to everyone is if you're taking a test, just travel light. Don't take anything with you. Okay, because none of it is going to be allowed into the exam room. Yeah. And in terms of during your test, there's a couple of descriptions here. The main one I think that was mentioned before is that there's no longer a break. Okay, in the old test, you used to be able to do a 10-minute break, right? And I used to recommend it at about the 2-hour mark. Now the whole test is only 2 hours. So basically just go to the bathroom before you enter the exam. Don't drink too much coffee or Red Bull. Right. And it's just one solid 2-hour session. You can go to the bathroom if you like, but the exam clock will not stop. Okay. As in your 2 hours will still be ticking down if you want to take a break in the middle. Yeah. That's about it. Everything else is going to be, things that you probably already have a bit of knowledge on. Now, my personal interpretation of the new scoring guide, okay? So this is the test paper, the results that you get, yeah? What you really care about is, of course, your 4 main scores for listening, reading, speaking, and writing. But they have slightly updated things like the skills profile, and they're starting to give you a little bit of feedback, right, on your performance in each area. I'll be completely honest with you. I had a look at a couple of samples of these. I actually don't think it's particularly useful. A lot of the comments that they give are actually very generic, right? As in, they'll say things like, pay attention to your spelling, right? Which of course is true, but it doesn't really tell you specifically, like very specifically where you've gone wrong. So everything I've been saying still applies, which is, yes, you can use this as a very, very general guide to, what kinds of things you probably need to focus on a bit more, right? It will point you in the right direction as to which questions you need to practice and things, but it will not give you any detailed feedback. I think most of these are automatically generated answers. Oh, generated results, I should say. And you still need to go through your own diagnosis process to figure out exactly which mistakes are happening and which skills you're currently, having some trouble with. Like if I zoom in on this, right, you can see here that work on your reading skills, right? And it says things like take notes, right? That's not going to be a very useful piece of advice in general. So don't spend too much time having a look, right? Just after an exam, take a quick scan through. That's basically all you need. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, these are all publicly available on the PT website. So for now, I would strongly recommend that you guys all download the latest